kick it? Can I kick it? Can I kick it?
Welcome to the Black News Network. My name is Darian Thomas.
And I'm Justin.
Today's top story will be focusing on music in the African American culture.
The black culture has always been instrumental in the evolution of music, whether it be tribal dances in ancient Africa or the jazz movement in the 20s, or the creation of the rock and roll and the blues. Rock and roll and the blues have developed into the most popular forms of music today. Hip hop was created in the 70s in New York, became popular in the 80s, and gangsta rap developed with people such as Ice-T and NWA. The disrespect of women really started with Uncle Luke and the 2 Live Crew, and then spread it to other groups. Conscious rap was still very prevalent in the 90s, but in the early 2000s, it started to die out. Rapper Kanye West was the face of conscious rap during the 2000s for the most part, until rappers like J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, and Chance the Rapper came out. The death of conscious rap has really commenced, and there's only 3 torch holders today.
By definition, pop culture is the modern popular culture transmitted via mass media, and it's aimed particularly at younger people. So, what is black when it comes to black pop culture? Well, author Stuart Hall says that it is an arena that is profoundly mythic, a theater of popular desires, theater of popular fantasies. It is where we discover and play with the identifications of ourselves, where we are imagined and where we are represented. So when it comes to African Americans, we tend to express ourselves very well through music. When it comes down to religion, forms of religious songs among African Americans developed in secret meetings called spirituals. Slave activities were often steeped in song. So tracing our roots back to the 70s, as far as hip hop is concerned, it's grown immensely into a culture of its own. Breakdancers and DJs were often the spotlight back then, and now it's more so MCs. While some people seek to preserve the rich history of African American music, others pretty much want to leave it behind. And now we're going to head over to Kristen in the studio.
Hi, I'm Kristen with the Black News Network. I'm going to be talking about the negative stereotypes in black music, hip hop, and rap. Because not only does the media and popular culture use these negative stereotypes to define blacks in hip hop, and they use, the violence, the drugs, the money, all that stuff, they blatantly promote and glamorize and glorify these negative stereotypes. The most popular of these stereotypes is violence. Why does a large majority of trap music sound so violent? Well, rap stems from a culture that has been steeped in the fight against oppression, political and social and economic oppression. Despite popular belief, violence in rap music is not supposed to be an agent of harm in America's youth. Rather, it's an outcry of an already existing problem. Nevertheless, these stereotypes are constantly being placed on the black community and its people. Not all blacks are these hypersexualized, drug-affiliated, violent individuals. It's sad that some of us have to work to disprove that theory every day. Yet we, as well as popular culture, promote this negative type of music and make it popular. That's why it's so difficult for us to expand beyond trap music and what the majority seems successful in black music. Recording labels put this expectation on black artists that limit their creativity and disallow them to acknowledge their full selves as artists. So how do we change this? It starts with us. We have to want to listen to more conscious and wholesome music. We have to put the pressure on recording labels and ourselves to produce better quality music that we can be proud of and relate to.
Now we're heading to Dustin in the field.
Do you think there's any positive in the stereotypes in the music, or just strictly negative?
In some songs, yes. Trying to think of an example. Like, I listen to a lot of Drake, and I feel like he goes into his personal experiences and backgrounds, and he tells about what he's experienced. And, you can relate to those things through just listening to his music. Like, I don't know. I relate to a lot of his things. But, some music like Future and I'm trying to think of other rappers. J. Cole and there's so many. But some of them I don't really think that their music is really relevant to anything. Really, I think they just do it to have a good rhythm and rhyme.
I'm here with Roderick. I'm going to ask him a few questions about stereotypes and what he thinks is best for this culture. Roderick, do you feel that stereotypes are needed in hip hop music to make them money or make the songs good?
I believe at a certain extent it is. Now, when it comes to stereotypes in the hip hop culture, there's certain stereotypes like drugs and everything, and I mean a lot of drugs are in hip hop songs. So, I think to make the money, I think yes, for the most part. Now you have some songs that are like about different things, like I guess love and everything, but I mean that's not really hip hop. They mention it, but their main thing is drugs and alcohol.
So with these stereotypes, is there a way they can go about the song without using stereotypes to cause like negative effect on people?
Listen to Kendrick Lamar. That's the prime example for that. So yeah, I mean there's ways about it. I mean when it all comes down to is a lot of rappers they grew up. Well, I don't know how exactly they grew up, but a lot of people grew up through the like drug industry, so they rap about what they know. So
they rap about their background basically.
their background, yeah, and people can relate to it. So
Now, with a negative effect from stereotypes, you basically hear negative. Do you think there's any positive towards anybody?
oh, absolutely. You mean in the music?
Yeah, in
Yeah,
the music.
There's music. I mean, there's positivity. Like I said, I mentioned Kendrick Lamar. I mean, I don't know if you listen to him or not, but I mean, he talks about like the struggle, and like J. Cole talks about the struggle and everything, and how he got through it and everything. So I mean, there's positive to it. I mean, you can sit down and listen to some people and actually learn something from them.
So it's basically who you listen to and how you take their words.
Right. You can't listen to Gucci Mane and expect good things. I mean, he says some good things, but most of his stuff is negative. So yeah.
Now, with these negative stereotypes, do you think there's a big impact caused on the urban communities with the violence?
Yes, because there's a lot of people out there that want to be like the rappers, I guess the thugs, I guess you could say. I mean, I'm not calling all rappers thugs. I'm just saying like most people they hear like, oh, let's kill them. Like I'm gonna go get a gun. You know what I mean? So like F this girl, let's go.
Yeah.
F a lot of girls, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, it has an effect on the community, and a lot of people that listen to hip hop, especially these days, hip hop is like the younger crowd. So I mean, they're pretty much molding them. I mean, they're coming out of their family or their parents' house and everything, and that's all they hear. Like in the college, I know that in the college, like they come here and listen to like rap and everything. They're like, oh, I want to be a part of that. So they seem like it's cool.
Now, do you think that these rappers are trying to downgrade women, or is there something else they're trying to get across that is not getting picked up?
In a way, they are downgraded women, yes. But I mean, women throw themselves at the rappers. So I mean, they just look at it like, oh, we don't need her. Like she's just another one. So I mean, it comes across as they're downgraded women. So I mean, there's some, like I said before, there's some that uplift women, but majority of them downgrade women. Yeah.
Now, do you think is there anything that you can think of that as listeners that we could do to help either get rid of the negative stereotypes or find different stereotypes where they're not so harsh, I guess you could say?
As of not listening, let me see. I think whatever you listen to, I mean, that's just how you feel. You know what I mean? If you listen to like killing music, you're gonna think about that. If you listen to good music, you're gonna think about that. So I think it's like your choice in music. Like I feel like you should listen to like I guess different artists. If you got negative stereotypes and you want to be positive, and listen to positive people.
So you're saying in order to eliminate some of the the harshness, they need to basically mix up their rappers,
Right,
or who they listen to.
Because the rappers they're making money. They're
Yeah.
making money off of, at this girl, I'm gonna kill this. They're making money off of that. So I mean, I wouldn't say why stop, but why stop? You know, I mean, that's just how
They're not gonna stop if they're making money.
exactly.
But,
I mean,
so
if you're throwing in millions of dollars, I mean, they're not gonna stop that.
alrighty. Well, thank you for your time, Roger.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Now we're heading to KC in the field.
We're here with Jesse, and we're going to ask him a couple questions. Jesse, that okay with you?
That's cool.
Great. First question. Why do you think hip-hop/rap is so hard on white rappers? Like, I don't know if you're familiar with J. Cole's song Fire Squad, where he was talking about all these white rappers, and he just names them and talks about how they get recognition for stuff that we don't get recognition for as a black culture.
Right. I wouldn't necessarily say that it's hard on white rappers, because like you said, like, I would say that it's actually easier. You know what I'm saying? Because, it's, we talk about white privilege, you know what I'm saying? Like, they actually are getting awards for, a style of music that was, that's based in African American roots. And, they're out here getting awards when there's, African American rappers that are doing far more, and that are actually were like really cultivate their music to be towards the African American community. So I would say it's easier for white rappers.
Interesting.
Listen, history repeats itself, and that's just how it goes. Same way that these rappers always bite each other's flows. Same thing that my nigga Elvis did with rock and roll. Justin Timberlake, Eminem, and Macklemore. While silly niggas argue over who gon' snatch the crown. Look around, my nigga, white people have snatched the sound. This year I'll probably go to the awards, dapper down. Watch Iggy win the Grammy as I try to crack a smile. I'm just playing, but all good jokes contain true shit. Same rope you climb up on and hang you with.
Hey y'all, I'm Kafani Chastain, and I'm here with Quadine Colvin. We're gonna ask him a couple of questions about the negative stereotypes in black popular culture. First question, Quadine, name 3 African American artists that influence African popular culture.
I think I'll say Tupac, J. Cole, and Kendrick Lamar.
Whereas in the 80s and the 90s, it was more of conscious rap, and it had more of a message to it. And now they're just talking about robbing and making it out the hood by selling drugs or rapping and messing with women and fast cars and jewelry. That's all they talk about now. There's no substance in it. Why do you think is that?
Well, I feel like more of it's society as a whole. I feel like our society is beginning to idolize money, fame, cars, and whereas in earlier times there it was actually, like you said, it was real issues. It was especially for the African American community, oppression. You know what I'm saying? We're talking like LA riots, stuff like that. And I feel like those rappers, they really lived that life. That was their only outlet to reach, to what they say, get out the hood. You hear it now, and some of these people have, they went to college. Some of these rappers have gone to college. You know what I'm saying? And some of them, not say spoon fed or anything like that, but some of them had a decent life before they went there. And that's not to take away from what they've done. But what I've seen is, like I said, the whole society is just, we got social media. So you see somebody's got a nice car, like, you're gonna have some envy, you know what I'm saying? If you're driving an old Humpty, you know what I'm saying, you see a Lambo, you know what I'm saying? And especially for like people in, like I say for us, like in college, we're out here grinding to get a piece of paper, a degree that supposedly is gonna have us take care of our children, and so forth. But then we see rappers out here, selling drugs, like, robbing, stealing.
It's kind of like you see rich criminals and then broke college students.
Living lavishly, it's like, so for me, it's really like, so what is rich? Like, like Bob Marley said, like he was asked if, he's like, are you a rich man? And he was like, rich as in possessions, money? And he said no, but he's talking about wisdom, you know what I'm saying, like, charisma, certain, like things that I feel like have gone obsolete, and I'm speaking on like just every ethnic group, not just African American. Like I feel like that's the huge transition. It's become from being really real to now becoming that, you know, it's all for the glitz and glamour.
Okay. Okay, good. So how do you feel like they should help shape our culture? And if so, do you think positive or negative?
With those three artists, I feel like they have shaped it positively because their views and their different opinions are positive, and they're things that most people won't branch out and say socially, and it can be in many different ways that they just talking about different issues in the world that I feel like most people won't branch out and say, and especially in rap these days where you gotta have that tough image. I feel like they keep it real and they stay true to the things that they know. So.
Next question. So how do you feel about artists such as Young Thug and Gucci Mane who fail to speak on issues that got to do with that are going on in the black community? Like that won't speak out at all. All they talk about is trapping and selling drugs and stuff. How do you feel about that? Do you feel it's right?
I mean, I don't necessarily feel like it's right. I have a positive and negative outlook with it because the rappers like Young Thug and Gucci Mane, they're pretty much just talking about the things that they know. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They grew up in that. So who am I to say that, you know, they can't talk about that? You know, that's all they know pretty much, you know? So they're going to stick to the things that they're true to.
Well, I talk about political issues, so they don't know nothing about that.
They don't know anything about that, so you can't blame them.
So do you feel like if they're so influential in our culture that they should be more aware and make themselves more aware of what's going on, so they should know and so they can talk about it?
Most definitely. But I feel like it's a time in their career when they'll do that. You know what I'm saying? Once they get over that hump, and they have to, you know what I'm saying, they have to keep that image first.
Yeah,
you know
get that image first.
I'm that tough rapper. I have to stick to that first. And then when I get to so I can get that respect.
After you get that respect, people will listen to you.
Okay. And then once I get over that hump, then, you know, maybe I can start sprinkling some political stuff here. But for right now, I feel like they're just gonna maintain their image, and then, you know, they'll get to that later on.
Okay, cool.
On Mike Brown, the Ferguson situation, what do you think needs to be changed in the way that black men are policed in America?
Leave that up with the critics and the laws and all that old shit. We having fun, we iced out, we having money. That's how we doing it.
So you feel like it's not the artist's place to speak on social issues?
No.
What I want people to know is that don't support the phonies, support the real. You know what I mean? How can these people be talking about how they so real and they don't care about our communities? How can they be talking about what they, all this, you know, the hood, blah, 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 blah. They don't care about our communities. You know what I mean? Listen to the words that people say in their lyrics and tell me if that's some real, if that's real to you. You know what I mean? Listen to what they saying. Don't just bob your head to the beat, peep the game. And listen to what I'm saying and hold us accountable for it.
Okay, y'all, we're back with Shane. And we're going to ask you a couple questions about the negative stereotypes in black popular culture. First question, how has hip-hop changed over the generations?
Hip-hop changed. I feel like hip-hop has changed drastically. If you look back from people from back in the day, what they used to rap about and everything, it's like kind of the same. Like, you know, they rap about what they got, money and clothes, hoes, I'm going to put that in quotes. Yeah, they rap about that, and they still rap about that nowadays. But back then, there were more rappers who rapped about meaning, like the conscious rappers. There were more conscious rappers out there than there is now. Like right now, at the top of my head, you just name like J. Cole, Kendrick, and then you go like, who else?
Who else? Yeah.
Like who else is still in the game trying to do conscious rap and make y'all think about what y'all doing in y'all life? Exactly. So that's why I feel like it changed drastically. It used to be more back then. It's been lowering down.
So it was more substance back then?
Yeah, more substance.
Okay, great. How do you feel about artists who have left the game, and what is their impact? Like, what impact do they leave, or what are they doing now to help impact our culture or help our culture in a positive way?
Well, artists that have left the game, if they're not dead, you know, most of them leave like a positive impact. If you look back and think about like Ice Cube when he was in NWA and everything, what he was doing back then, and how he's affecting the game now through his movies, showing what he went through and how he don't want all these rappers to go through that. He wants them to change and everything like that. There's a couple of other rappers out there doing that. If I think about like Common, he's still out there. He's acting now, showing positive light of the black community. Those are like two I can name off the top of my head. But I just feel like a lot of them, they evolved from what they used to be doing to what they're doing now, and just trying to change the game and change the world.
Okay, good.
That's what I see.
I think the hip hop culture is so hard on white rappers. Like, why is it so hard, or why is it so out the norm to be a white rapper? Like, why do you think that? Like,
that's a tough question right there. 'Cause personally, I don't really discriminate against white rappers and everything, you know. I listen to my Eminem, you know, all that out there. I heard a little bit of Riff Raff. It's a little crazy, but I heard that before. I don't know why we're so hard on white rappers. I guess because I want to say we label them as swagger jackers. Like they be trying to jack the black culture or something like that. Like they're trying to take something that was ours. That's what a lot of people assume, but I feel like it's not even like that. If they embrace the rap, if they embrace rap, like rap, that's what they listen to and that's what they want to do. And if they're good at it, I feel like we shouldn't be hard on them. But a lot of people feel like they're just taking our culture, trying to make it theirs. But I don't see nothing wrong with it.
We're here with Jasmine, and we're gonna ask her a few questions. So, first question, Jasmine: do you think hip hop / rap is degrading to women?
I think it is degrading in a sense, but that sells. So I'm not saying it's okay to be degrading, but it just right now I guess that's the popular thing to, you know, miss or call women out of their names, and you know, and they feel like it's okay. But I do think it's degrading in a sense, but yeah, it's just basically degrading.
Well, I mean, what about to you, like personally? Like, when you listen to a song and you hear a rapper call a woman a bitch or a hoe, do you feel any type of way?
I personally don't feel any type of way because I don't refer to myself as those things, and I also don't feel any type of way because I'm not in that category of what they're referring to, because half the time they're referring to females selling their bodies or, you know, just being misused, them mistreating themselves versus a man mistreating themselves as well. So I wouldn't say that I felt mistreated or felt any type of way about them.
Would you let your kids listen to hip hop?
I don't think I would necessarily just play hip hop through my house, you know, at all given times, because my parents didn't do that. But like I did, a child is the world, so they will hear it in some form or fashion, but I don't think I would be the parent to just allow them to download any song, you know, that's this, that, or the third, that's not education, not necessarily educational, like all day, every day, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, but just, you know, some things you need to listen to because you need to know what is going on, but I don't think I would be that parent to just allow them to walk around like, no, keep you book. You know, like, I don't think that would be me.
So what about BET? Like, would you let them watch BET, or at what age would you start that, or do you, any age, like?
I want to say my parents started allowed, well, I was allowed to watch BET, but it was only at a certain time of day, of course, because they did have the late BET. But my parents didn't really allow me to watch BET unless it was on Sunday when they had the whole gospel thing. So I probably, being that BET is kind of getting diminishing, it's going away in a sense, I don't know if I would allow that either.
Thank you. Is hip hop degrading to women?
Yes.
Why? And why do you feel like that?
I mean, it's bitch this, pop that. You know what I'm saying? Just slandering women. I mean,
but you have these females who are calling themselves bitches and hoes. So
they degrading themselves.
So you feel like it's okay for everybody else or all the rappers to call them a bitch or a hoe or talk about them in a bad way if they're talking about themselves in that same way?
Yeah, because in reality, you're not gonna sell unless you talk about bitches. Yeah, but I mean, you got rappers like Kendrick. I mean, Kendrick's a good rapper, but he's one of those civil rights rappers. He's not I can bump him in my car. I want to hear some. I'm gonna pop that. You know what I'm saying? Just stuff like that. Hey.
Which brings me to my next question. So why do you feel like gangster rappers are the more prevalent rapper or the more popular than conscious rappers? Whereas back in the day, more rappers were conscious and actually sending a message out. But now today, all they rap about is trapping and robbing and stealing and, jewelry, driving fast car and everything.
Because this generation is different from that generation. I mean, it's two different time frames.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of stuff has happened. They didn't have social media. They didn't have they had nice cars, but it's a whole bunch of stuff. The technology, all that stuff plays into it. So
I don't fit in. That's hell. It's hell when you can't be around your peers. All my life I grew up around black people, poor people, but I can't live around poor people now because they'll rob me. And why would they rob me? Because they're starving, because there's no money here. But they're telling me, now that I made a little money, I have to move here. So it's not like no one's ever trying to deal with this section. They're just moving away from it. And we're going to have more stars coming from the ghetto, but they're gonna all move this way. You know what I'm saying? So it's like all the society is doing is leeching off the ghetto. They use the ghetto for their pain, for their sorrow, for their culture, for their music, for their happiness, for their movies, to talk about boys in the hood. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be another I don't want to be 50 years old at a BET We Shall Overcome Achievement Awards. You know what I'm saying? Not me. You know, I want when they see me, they know that every day when I'm breathing, it's for us to go farther. You know, every time I speak, I want the truth to come out. You know what I'm saying? Every time I speak, I want to shiver. You know, I don't want them to be like, they know what I'm going to say because it's polite. They know what I'm going to say. And even if I get in trouble, you know what I'm saying? Ain't that what we're supposed to do? I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that's our job, is to spark somebody else watching us. We might not be the ones, but let's not be selfish, and because we're not going to change the world, let's not talk about how we should change it. I don't know how to change it, but I know if I keep talking about how dirty it is out here, somebody's going to clean it up.